Hey guys, Jay Johnson here, Transgender Support. So today I want to do a quick, I was going to say reaction video to something I heard, but that sounds kind of forceful. No, just a general awareness and another recognition video about misgendering. And I want to do this one with the tone, because there's a lot we could talk about for that. The tone I want to do this one is of, as trans people, we definitely know that it's probably going to happen. Our hope is that as one goes through their journey, it happens less and less as we're adapting to different things, whether that's physically, our presentation, the way we're acting, moving, anything that we're trying to do to show the world what we believe we feel like we have to do in order to not be misgendered. It's like this task. And the point is, I know that for trans people, it can be very frustrating sometimes when being misgendered. And as sort of a note to allies, I've heard from allies who say, well, we get that it's frustrating, but, bear with us. Like, this is something we're trying to learn overnight. And I don't want to get bad feedback from this, because that's a whole nother video where I want to say, yes, of course, in any group situation, if there are allies involved, we always support and we always thank the allies. We're always grateful for allies, all of those good things, all of those warm feels. But this, when I was talking about the tone of this one, it's more to say, like, well, if you're on the ally side, or wanting to learn more to become on the ally side, it's really just a call to say, there's a lot of great patience, which is wonderful, but try to please have even more. And the reason is, I want you to really understand, it's not just like a situation where if someone goes down the street and says, oh, we like your blue shirt, and like, oh, blue, to me this is green. It's not that at all. It is the heart and the core of our identity, all of our identity to some degree, right? The difference is people who aren't trans don't have to think about it or obsess about it all the time. But if you are a transgender person, very often it's something that does not leave your mind for a second. Am I going to be passable? How am I presenting? Will I be misgendered? And I can tell you from experience, every time it happens, again, everyone's different, but for a lot of us, every time it happens, just that 1 second, if you're talking to a trans female and say, oh, thank you, sir, sounds like a nice thing to say, thank you, but comma, sir, I mean, it's like 1,000 knives stabbing into you. And this is the part that I know is hard to understand unless you're going through it yourself. But imagine going your whole life, or again, I'm talking about my own story now. Some people, their journey is different. But for me and for a lot of us, it's like our whole life where we know that there's something that we want to kind of tell the world and correct, and do what we can to make sure that people are no longer getting it wrong. So we start, our journey, our transition, and we might start appearing differently physically. We might start carrying ourselves differently, but we're doing things to try to, most importantly, live our authentic truth. But along with that is also how people respond to us. So we might adjust our actions, we might adjust our look. And when it's something that we're thinking about literally all day, every second of the day to some degree, and then to have that misgendering, it almost feels like, I'm not saying this is what you're doing, but it can almost feel like in that second that you misgendered that trans person, you're saying to them, all of the work you've been doing, all of the physical, sometimes pains and stuff you've been going through literally to adjust, it doesn't mean anything, because what you're doing isn't working, right? We still see you as, in this case, the misgender. So I realize, literally, I studied, discourse analysis in school. I know in parts of these conversations, people will say, listen, that was never my intention. As an ally, I would never want one of my trans friends to think that I, did not validate or accept or understand or appreciate their journey, of course. But when the misgendering happens, and it does, but then it's followed up with sort of a frustration from the ally side, that can be tough for us because we're already dealing with that feeling, oh, no matter what I've been trying, I thought I was having a good week. We start getting in our heads, like I felt like week 6 was better than week 2 for my journey. I feel like year 4, I'm presenting better than year 1, whatever that means to me. But then to have the misgender, you feel like you're going all the way back to the beginning. And so you just have to give us a minute that's my plea. Just give us a minute to kind of take it in. A lot of the things that you'd want to say, like, you know, it was an accident or there's no negative offense meant by it, we are often prepared to hear that, but we might just need a minute. And from this video, I hope it's clearer about why in that second following or those minutes following, it can really seem harder to take in than just a few wrong words. So I hope that's helpful. I want to end by saying, of course, it's up for all of us to be more patient with everyone, all of us, allies, trans people, non-trans people, all of us have to be more patient. But I think it's fair to spend a few minutes on this video to say, listen, for our allies, please just bear with us and try to, hopefully from this video and talking to your friends, understand a little bit more about why we might be so, what seems like devastated or hurt or angry if we're misgendered. It's not just hearing the wrong word in that second. It takes us, for a lot of us, it takes us all the way back. And when we say all the way back, it could be not the most pleasant space. So I hope that makes sense. And with that, you know, please feel free to continue letting me know about your own frustrations, both on the if you're a trans person, from the ally side. And this is a place where hopefully we're going to keep talking and exchanging and just putting things out that we can reflect on. So I hope you have a great day. It's a beautiful day here behind me. You might be able to see a little chilly but sunny, but I'm going to go out in a second. And I hope you guys have a great afternoon, and we'll see you soon.